What's up, agents? Epic Slayers here. I'm sure you are all very excited for the Division 2, as I am. After watching the E3 reveal, I posted so many videos, more videos than I've ever posted in one period of time about the Division 2. I was very excited, and unfortunately I wasn't able to go there, but I did see everyone's, all the Ubisoft star players and all of their stuff. And today I really wanted to kind of go over, it's a slight concern, and I don't want to be negative in any of my videos, but a slight concern that the Division 2 might be making the same mistakes as Destiny 2. And there's only a few bits within the Division 2 that I really want to cover that I think is kind of going the Destiny 2 way, and it's something I don't want to see. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video, and if you do drop a like, it does help. So let's get into this. The main issue that I have is actually the new gear mod system. Now, if you didn't know, the new mods in the game are no longer obtainable through random loot drops like they are in the Division 1. But instead that are rewarded for completing activities, you know, like missions and in-game challenges. I've got no issues with that. I think the one thing that the Division 1 lacked a lot of was sort of exclusive loot or certain loot for you completing certain challenges. But that said, I don't think that all of the gear mods should be tied to those particular activities. And I do think that the element of RNG, the element of that grind factor that you got from, you know, trying to find a mod, trying to find the best mod, that grind factor being removed from the Division 2, which is going to be, I don't know, I just can't see it sustaining a lot of players for as long as it has. One of the reasons why the community for the Division 1 has stuck around for so long, or at least people grind games for so long, is because, you know, RNG isn't on their side and they have to find the best loot. Now, an example of that from the Destiny 2 is random rolls on weapons. So if you've never played Destiny before, then I'll kind of explain what I mean. So in Destiny 1, basically if you had a weapon drop, you could get random talents rolled on that weapon, and it could really be anything. So you could, effectively, you could have so many different varieties of the same weapon, and everyone was trying to find, you know, that god roll IS Luna, which is like a hand cannon, or a god roll weapon that they want with those talents that they want for that particular type of weapon. And that's important for the game. When Destiny 2 released their game and they removed random rolls, everyone was a bit kind of like, well, I've lost the grind now for that weapon. Because effectively, all it means is that if you pick up that weapon, then you know that you're getting those particular talents. And it lost a lot of the grind. Obviously, that's not exactly what's happening here. But the fact that they're removing gear mods from being in the loot pool and just coming from challenges, I don't think it's a good way of doing it. I think there needs to be a variety. I think you should have mods being dropped on the floor so that the players that want to get that, you know, the most powerful mod in the game, or want to get, you know, the best one, they can. But I also think there needs to be unique mods that are tied to missions and in-game challenges, like, you know, exotic mods, for example, which is something that people have said they wanted in Division 1. Then maybe have those in Division 2 and tie those to activities, because, again, I do think there needs to be rewards for actually completing activities that other people haven't. We do know that if you unlock a mod, then it will be available forever across every weapon. And the way I see it is this. It's a simple way out of trying to manage inventory, which is always a real problem for the Division 1. Obviously, you'd have loads of mods and all that stuff, and it really cluttered up the inventory. So I think they've taken the easy way out of trying to fix a good inventory system by just basically removing mods from the loot pool. And I don't think that's the best way of doing it. I think players want diversity. I think the idea of, you know, picking up something and going, oh, you know, and finding out it's not the one that you wanted, and then having to grind longer to get the one that you wanted, is what keeps people playing the game. Because ultimately, once you complete those challenges, which, unless they're really, really difficult and require, you know, I assume that there's going to be ones tied to the new raids, unless they're really, really difficult, people are just not going to do it. And effectively, if they are tied to raids like Destiny are, then really you have to be in a group in order to unlock those mods. And I know people don't like that either, because there's a lot of solo Division players, and they will be going into the Division 2, and that doesn't really appeal to solo players if they're having to group up and obviously go into activities to get certain mods. I don't think that's fair, although I do agree there does need to be a group PvP mode that allows unique rewards. I agree with that, but I'm not happy with the way that they've done this. We also know that with the Division 2, they are going to be removing a lot of the PvP and PvE game modes at launch with the Division 2. And that's very similar to Destiny 2 as well, where they sort of cut back on everything. In Destiny 1, we had Heroic Nightfall. Well, it might be Heroic Strikes, which are effectively like small missions where you go in and you got to defeat a boss at the end. You had Heroic Strikes. They were removed from Destiny 1. They were added in Destiny 2 behind a paywall, and whilst I don't believe they're going to add these game modes back into the game through a paywall, because we are getting free DLC drops within year 1, which are going to be completely free, it's not good that they are removing these game modes. And from what I can tell so far, and again, you know, it's not going to be released until March, we've still got, you know, easily 8 months. From what I can tell so far, there is going to be a limited amount of PvP and PvE game modes outside of the missions. And again, that's not going to keep people playing the game. I think where the Division is currently with all the variety, that's where the Division 2 needs to start, and it doesn't need to cut back just like Destiny 1 did. And lastly, I kind of want to move on to specializations, and they are very cool. Okay, I like specializations, but they are basically signature skills, but with weapons. There's no real move for them, and also none of the ones so far that we know have any sort of group, group impact. You know, you get the grenade launcher, you get the sniper, you get the crossbow. It adds no sort of group impact, whereas signature skills in the Destiny 1, you've obviously got signature skills which apply to everyone and that sort of thing. So that promotes more group play. I can see where they're going with it, but again, it's kind of cutting back. And at this point, we don't know whether talents and stuff are going to be cut back. But from what I've read and what I've seen, you know, talents are going to be cut back a little bit. We're not going to get as many talents, and everything seems to be cut back because the Division, and they've said that it's going to be that way, but they're basically saying the Division 2 is a much bigger project in respect of, you know, missions and endgame, that they're having to cut back on other stuff. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully the missions and the endgame live up to what what it is meant to be, and that way we don't have to worry about, like, the mods and all that stuff and the grind so much. But at the end of the day, if they don't add this stuff in soon, people will get bored very quickly. And I don't know about you, obviously you have to leave your comments down below, let me know what you think, but personally, I like the idea of having to try and find a god roll mod, or a god roll weapon, or whatever the case may be. And also, I don't like the fact that if you get a mod, then it's there forever, in the sense that I think you can effectively, if you have one extended mag, you can put that one extended mag on multiple weapons at once. I don't think you should be able to do that. I think it should be like the Division 1, where you have different, if you have 2 magazines, then you can put those on 2 weapons. 3 magazines, 3 weapons. I think that's how it should be. I like the collection. I like having to find stuff. And I think the Division does that well. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, drop a like. As I said at the start, it does help me out. Subscribe if you are new. And if you're not new, then turn on notifications. And until next time, Epic out.